Kamala Harris meets Muslim leaders outraged about Israel. Democratic presidential candidate Kamala Harris met with Arab American and other Muslim leaders in Flint, Michigan, on Friday. Arab American and Muslim voters in Palestine are angry at Israel's continued support for Israel's ongoing wars in Gaza and Lebanon. Kamala Harris met as part of an effort to regain their support. Kamala Harris has tried multiple times in recent days to bridge her gap with Muslim and Arab voters. In the 2020 presidential election, Muslim voters openly supported Democrat Joe Biden. But this time, they can withdraw support for the Democratic candidate. And if that happens, Orange may have to pay the price, especially in Michigan, one of the key states. Arab American and Muslim leaders have expressed deep disappointment at the way the U.S. government is handling the conflict between Israel and Iran, Lebanon, and the Palestinians. They urged Kamala to do everything in her power to stop these wars and to reassess U.S. policy on the region. Wael Al-Zayat, CEO of Muslim American consulting group Outraged Action. During yesterday's meeting, Harris expressed concern over the plight of the Palestinian people in Gaza, the loss of civilian lives and the displacement of civilians in Lebanon, according to officials familiar with her campaign. The officials said Kamala discussed how to stop the war between Israel and the Lebanese armed group Hezbollah and the Palestinian independence organization Hamas. They also discussed efforts to avoid the possibility of starting a regional war around the conflict between Israel and Iran, Hezbollah and Hamas. Wael Al-Zayat, CEO of Muslim American advisory group Outraged Action, recently expressed support for Democrat Kamala Harris. Arab American and Muslim leaders expressed deep disappointment with the U.S. government's handling of the conflict between Israel and Iran, Lebanon, and the Palestinians, he said after the meeting. They urged Kamala to do everything in her power to stop these wars and to reassess U.S. policy on the region. In the 2020 presidential election, Muslim voters in the United States openly supported Democrat Joe Biden. But this time, they can withdraw support for the Democratic candidate. And if that happens, Orange may have to pay the price, especially in Michigan, one of the key states. Outraged Action urges Vice President Kamala to try to convince President Biden of the importance of an immediate end to the violence in Gaza and Lebanon, Al-Zayat said. Kamala, agreed that these wars need to end. Ed Gabriel, president of the American Task Force on Lebanon, said the meeting was an excellent exchange of views on a wide range of issues. These included the need for a ceasefire, support for the United States and its allies in overcoming the humanitarian crisis, the vacuum of presidential leadership in Lebanon, and the important role of Lebanon's armed groups. Ed Gabriel added, "We have seen a lot of empathy from her, Kamala. We will be watching what happens next." The two sides had a fruitful exchange of views during the meeting. "We want to make significant progress in our friendship. We'll see more in the coming days."